Amanda Cook, British guitarist, here for the Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society 16-17 season, our second guest of great international acclaim. Welcome to the Diamond Lane, Amanda.
Thank you very much.
Please, well, let's scoot that microphone a little closer to your lovely face, just so that we can hear you. If you want to scoot up, can you scoot up a little?
Oh, you mean up?
Yeah, just not up, just closer.
Just
you're
move.
good. Yeah, no, I didn't want to, get that mic too close to your guitar. It was wow. Can you tell us what that was, Amanda?
Yeah, that is the first movement of the Suite Castellana. It's a fandanguillo by the Spanish composer Toroba.
And that's going to be on the program tomorrow night at l'Église Précieuxant, 200 Kenny Street. Amanda, this is your first time in Canada.
Yes.
But you have performed all over the place through the US, through South America, Europe, and of course in your home in the UK.
Yes.
I'm glad you're here in Winnipeg.
Yes.
How did you get here?
Here?
Tell us how you're...
well, basically, one of the members of the Guitar Society, he heard my playing. I think he's got a couple of my CDs.
Okay.
And he really loved, there's an album I released a few years ago by all music by one composer, an English composer, William Lovelady. And he really loved this music, and he wrote to me and said, I'm really enjoying your CD, and I'd love, if possible, if one day we could get you over to play for the society. So that's kind of how it started. And then, schedules kind of aligned, and then I got the invitation for this season.
That's
and it
brilliant.
All worked out.
Well, we're so glad you're here. Now, I've been doing a little bit of reading, a little bit of research about you. And the one thing that really struck me as a musician, and I think a lot of us can identify with this, you identify yourself not so much as a performer as an interpreter. Mm-hmm. And so tell us a little bit about what constitutes that difference between interpreter and performer for you.
In some respects, it's obviously connected.
Right.
But just for me, I think the priority as a musician is the composer, and it's the music that they've created. So in that sense, I see myself as a messenger for that person, whether they're alive or have passed. And I just feel it's a wonderful role to have, to be able to entertain people and communicate that music to them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so, you're talking about, composers living and dead,
Yes.
and yes, Toroba is no longer with us.
No, he's not.
But Lovelady is with us. Tell us about the experiences you've had, with composers and, getting to premiere these brilliant new works that they've written for you.
Yes. That's such a privilege. And I think, the guitar repertoire is not massive compared to other instruments that have, huge long legacies and huge volumes of music by incredibly famous composers. The guitar is slightly on a smaller scale. There's certainly plenty of music to delve into, but it's really exciting. I always find to play something new that audiences may not have heard, music that I'm passionate about, and I think they will enjoy, hopefully. And it's obviously really exciting to work with a composer as well. And so I have been lucky that several composers have written pieces for me, and it's always very exciting to be able to premiere them and just see how the guitar can create new voices, really. That's
brilliant. And you know what? You're not just a soloist and an interpreter, but you're also a collaborator. I was noticing that you were doing a project with a harpsichordist as well as with a guitar ensemble. Tell us a little bit about your collaborative adventures.
Yeah, I love my playing solo, but it's something very exciting and just really invigorating about playing with people on stage, and you never quite know what's going to happen. It's not just all in your hands, it's a real team effort, and so that's a wonderful thing. So I have a duo with a harpsichordist who we were both at Music College together quite a long time ago, and so that we play a mix of really old repertoire and some new stuff as well, and arrangements, and then I play in a guitar quartet, the Vida Guitar Quartet, which is really fantastic. We're playing stuff that we wouldn't normally get to play on a guitar, things like Britten and Gershwin,
oh, nice.
Vaughan Williams, really meaty orchestral stuff, that guitarists, just sort of look at and drool over, but never imagine they're actually going to get to play it.
Are there arrangers that you work with to arrange these?
I only joined the quartet about gosh, how long is it? About just over a year ago now, I think. So the guys in the quartet, they, you know, arrange a lot of stuff. I mean, I will get around to doing some as well, now that I've learnt the repertoire. But yeah, it's all kind of in-house, basically. All the arrangements are done by the group.
That's fantastic. So you have that hand in kind of shaping how things are colored for your ensemble.
And how it will work.
That's so nice.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it's. I'm sure it's easier when you know your instrument as intimately as you do. I mean, you started playing very young, right?
Yes.
Like,
I was
seven.
Yeah.
Or did you come from a musical family, or?
Not massive. I mean, my father used to play in the 60s in a blues band, electric
Nice.
guitar. He was the lead guitarist. So, you know, he had guitars around the house and taught me a few tunes. And and we had an old organ that we used to play and kind of play along together on. But he and my mum, they had a lot of old classical guitar records, Segovia and some one John Williams and Julian Bream. And so I used to listen to those, and I just fell in love with that sound. And so yeah. They have their music lovers, certainly, Mum and Dad are.
That's amazing. And you know what? I was reading somewhere also that you are a huge fan of Jacqueline Dupré.
Yes.
And you even tried playing the cello as well. Didn't you? That was that.
You read about that?
I did.
Wow,
I did.
You really did your research.
That's right. No, but I found it so fascinating because, I was a pianist as a kid, and then I turned into a singer. But there are things that I wanted to try, but just failed at miserably. But I mean, not to say that you failed miserably, but I was reading.
No, I really did. I mean, the thing is, the cello is one of my favourite instruments, and for me, she had so much energy and passion, and just so much joy when you watched her perform. You know, she was just so committed to that moment, and that always really inspired me, and still does when I hear her recordings. You can hear that even in an audio, let alone when you watch the video footage we have of her. So yeah, I did try and play at school, but it was so dire, and obviously I had her in my ears, you know. So when I was playing Bar Bar Black Sheep,
it probably wasn't even that bad. It's just that you were judging yourself against Jacqueline Dupré as a child. You can't do that. Well, yeah. Well, we're glad you play guitar at least, and so brilliantly as well. So just before we dive into a little bit more music, just where is your home musically? Like, where do you feel most at home? Like, what repertoire do you feel most at home with? Is it the new stuff, or is there something that you go back to that, from early on?
It kind of changes, really. Yeah. I mean, I think sort of this love of playing new music is always great because it just feels you're offering something really fresh to the audience, which I think is a really nice thing to be able to do. But I love playing John Dowland, that Renaissance music, and I love that Spanish romantic repertoire as well. I just think there's so much colour you can bring out, and that's what I think the guitar does so well. It's just the amazing range of timbres you can create. So for me, that repertoire, I really love bringing that to life. Certainly.
Excellent.
So I think, I can't really narrow it down to one particular thing. I'm sorry.
No, please. It's totally fine. I mean, I would be curious, as just in terms of extended techniques, what composers have asked you to do too.
Yes. I mean, the guitar has so many kind of diverse styles it's capable of doing. So a lot of that is brought to the mixing pot, into the classical guitar, a classical guitar piece as well. So some percussive effects and, different strumming and, harmonics, all sorts of things.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Well, friends, Amanda Cook, she is here in Winnipeg for the first time in Canada. So exciting to have you. She's playing tomorrow night at l'Église Précieuxson at 200 Kenny Street. Of course, you can get tickets at the door. And you know what? I would say just buy a subscription. With the success of Gaëlle Solal. Do you know Gaëlle Solal's music?
Yes, she is
what
a
wonderful
joy
musician. I was so lucky to have her here in the studio in this very same chair. I just keep getting blown away. The Winnipeg Classical Guitar Society, winnipegclassicalguitarsociety.com is the place to go to find more information. Amanda, would you be so kind as to play something else for us?
Of course, yes. I'll play you a piece by Lovelady. This is one of his incantations, incantation number 6, that was inspired by an African trumpeter friend of his, Hugh Masekela.
Oh my gosh.
But I just need to quickly check.
Please,
I've got to re-cue my string.
Please tune. Amanda Cook, ladies and gentlemen, catch her tomorrow night. The concert starts at... It doesn't say. It just says
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, good. Well, Kurt, if you're listening... Oh, it does. It does say right there. Thank you much, Amanda Cook. Amanda Cook. And that was this edition's Birchwood Jaguar 107 Live.